Squirrels! So hello, and welcome to another Legends of Runeterra video. My name is Chris, and today we will be playing something pretty exciting. I mean, the last two videos now have been Piltover Noxus themed, but this one is True Burn, True Ultimate Burn. And for those of you who don't know, a burn deck is essentially something that focuses on just going face normally with spells and other things, and it's normally an aggro archetype, you would say, and the other one being sort of Swarm, which is more about playing a lot of creatures. This one is more about just going face with spells. But the thing is, in Runeterra, burn is a bit different to other games. I come from a Magic the Gathering background, so when you compare that burn to Runeterra burn, it is very different. Very simply, you can take a look at Mystic Shot. Mystic Shot is deal 2 mana, deal 2 to anything. Magic the Gathering has a very similar card called Shock, which is 1 mana, deal 2 to anything. And straight away you can see the difference in what 1 and 2 mana would do to those cards. This card would be unplayable in Magic the Gathering, whereas it is very good in Runeterra. And based off the decisions that they made at the start when they were making this game, to make things like Mystic Shot higher in mana cost, it makes burn a bit weaker, and it means that as a core aggro type concept, burn doesn't really exist. If you're playing aggro in Runeterra, you're playing Swarm. You're playing for the board, you're playing as many creatures as you can, and you know, cards like Crowd Favorite are often finishers in those decks because he fits a Swarm archetype very well. But this time we are playing burn, and so having said what I've just said, you have to play a bit slower and you have to understand what matchup you're in. If you are playing against another aggro deck, which is a Swarm aggro deck, you will not be the aggressor. You will be the controller 100%. And so let's take a look at the list. So we start off with Blade's Edge and Rummage 2. You'll notice we have no 1-drop creatures there either. Two cards that aren't essential but just can help in certain scenarios. Obviously Blade's Edge against aggro matches in particular can be, you know, quite useful, and the same with Rummage for rummaging away things like Blade's Edge for something more useful. Boom Crew Rookie is still the best aggro card in the game and obviously fits the burn archetype 100%. It's a great 2-drop and it's an auto include. Then we're playing Eager Apprentice. Now, Eager Apprentice might seem like a bit of an interesting inclusion, but you have to remember that we're playing burn, and so if we can get spell mana as much as we can, that's quite good for us because we are playing some bigger spells like Decimate. And so Eager Apprentice honestly might be a 2-drop. I might have to change this, but can be quite important in certain situations. Again, if we are playing against aggro, it's quite a good one to have because, you know, it's essentially a free 2-drop in a way. And that helps us quite a lot. Grenadier obviously fits quite well as also he deals 2 to the enemy nexus when he dies. He's a 3/1, good against aggro, can be good against more controlling matchups as well, where, you know, he's got 3 attacks, so can deal a bit of damage to them. Mystic Shot, obviously we're playing everything that we can to deal damage to face, stuff like Get Excited as well. Ezreal, this is not an Ezreal deck by any means, but he gives you a Mystic Shot. He's also elusive, which is handy for blocking elusives, if that's what you want to do. Get Excited, again, goes to the Mystic Shot. Use Cast Salesman is obviously, again, straight burn damage with the Caustic Cast. Very good for playing extra blockers on a turn. Chump Womp here. Might seem like an interesting inclusion, but he does give us 2 cards in Mushroom Clouds, which can be either rummaged away, or mushrooms themselves can count as a sort of burn type. Static Shock, more burn. Decimate, big time burn. Funsmith. We are playing Funsmith. As I say, this is all in burn, which is going to make everything deal 1 extra damage. And so Decimate becomes 5, Static Shock becomes 2, which is obviously pretty good. Get Excited becomes 4, Mystic Shot becomes 3. And then Darius as a big finisher, which obviously I think every deck in Runeterra will need. As I say, I don't think you could go for full burn, but something like Darius can come in, and they often will be down on, you know, around 10 health, and so if you can level him up, obviously that becomes quite the finisher indeed with his 10 attack and overwhelm, and 2 progress days to just keep us going. So with that said, let's get into some games. So, Lucian, Callista Thresh, so a death type deck. Could be playing a lot of things, obviously centered around dying. So let's kick the Rummage. I'll keep the Static Shock and the Grenadier, the Cast Salesman. Sorry. Him. Could see something like Lucian now. There he is. Obviously we won't block that, but so we'll get a free 3 damage on us. Could play Senna, which would be, you know, pretty bad, but we'll see. I am just gonna open attack. Get my own 3 damage in. Not ideal. Lucian Senna, pretty nice for him. Obviously, we'd prefer the Senna to level up. Oh, that's an interesting development, my friend. We can punish that pretty well with the Cast Salesman. We do have Funsmith's Static Shock potential, which we'll be able to kill these both at the same time, which could be important. And this card is so good, don't you think? Just gives you such good blocks. So we obviously will just block. See what he wants to do. That's interesting. He didn't do that beforehand. And he will just pass. So I think we'll just yeah, we'll just play Funsmith and just call it there. We do have Get Excited backup in case we need to avoid a single combat or something like that. But this Static Shock now can obviously kill both Lucian and Senna at the same time, which could be pretty important. Another Curse Keeper, that's fine. Obviously any double Butcher combo would be pretty nasty, but you know, with the extra spell damage we could potentially be okay. That is a single combat. And we are going to get rid of... I do think the units could be important, so let's get rid of the Decimate. Unless he's got double single combat, which obviously would be a pretty big punish. Solutioned on 2 of 4. But it does kind of open up our attack somewhat. So I think we will go in for an attack now. He can obviously level up his Lucian at any time he wants, but that's kind of fine as well. So we're pushing 6 damage for free here. Interesting he didn't choose to level up the Senna. Essentially that was always going to block anyway, so it's no major deal. Goes for a Haunted Relic. So we will go for another Grenadier. Ah. So we will level up the Lucian. So we could now kill the Senna and go face potentially. That would leave him on 1. I think that's probably what we're going to do. I think we have to leave him on 1. Kill the Senna. So obviously we'll go there. Killing the Senna anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I guess we'll stop as much damage as we can. Puts us on 4. Well, actually, we should be okay anyway. In fact, I don't really need to block with you. That puts us on 9. We definitely should be safe on 9. Puts him on 1. Unless he's got another single combat. He does not. And there's 3 right there. So he's on 1. I'm not sure if he's running any sort of... Oh, is this rally? No. So he is running some healing there. But that's fine. A rally could have been pretty spooky, but we should have been able to live. Well, there's a decimate as well. So let's just start off with that. And that should be good. So we will rally. But that's good. There we go. Straight up. That's how this deck is trying to work. Actually, Funsmith with Static Shock. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. If you can keep Funsmith alive, it can be pretty good. So there I think you saw the power that this deck can have, and what it's trying to do. So Anivia, straight up Anivia. No Tryndamere, no Thresh is an interesting inclusion. Probably means it's even more control-y, or it's some sort of Mistwraith and Jaw version. So we want to be going probably a bit quicker. Boom Crew is awesome in this matchup. I'm not too worried about killing things, but we'll keep the Chump Wump as well, as he will allow us to fill out our curve somewhat. Boom Crew attack on 2, excellent. I would guess with this, he might very well be playing something like an Endure Spiders, just with her instead. Obviously, Boom Crew here showing his potential, taking this Aristocrat out, and getting into damage as well. Such a good card. Such a good card. See, in this scenario, I think we're happy to end the round as well. This is just a Vile Feast waiting to happen, so I'm not as comfortable going there. His answers are probably at fast speed, though he could have something like... He could have quite a few things, to be fair, but I think his answers are going to be at fast speed, so I feel better about developing. Straight up Brittle Steel. Okay, that's fine. It's an interesting play, but it's fine by me. As I say, his answers, I'm pretty sure we're always going to be fast speed, so develop there. Makes sense. Oh, Catalyst, okay. So, at this point, I think we're happy to pass still, though. Got a lot of straight damage in face. A Funsmith would be pretty good as well here. We can start to develop some of these units now. Ezreal, Legion Grenadier. I think they're all pretty good develops at this point. And we're just going to try and go in. Grasp, yeah. This is good though. We want him to grasp at high values rather than low values. That's really important. We have to hope no Vile Feast here. Okay, no. And now I would say the open, he does have Ruination enabled. So we'll go for the... I mean, just look how much burn we've got in hand. Another Brittle Steel, that's fine. So we deal quite a bit of damage there. He's down to 14. You look at what's in our hand here. I think this is a good time to probably decimate. Actually, I think this is probably a good time to just drop the mushrooms. Or at least drop one. This allows us to pass it back to him to see if he wants to do anything. He doesn't. So at this point, I think we can probably just decimate. Pretty happy to just decimate him down to 10. If he's that content on passing, I will now pass because we're now not burning any mana, whereas he's burning quite a lot. There's a Darius. Scourge is quite annoying, but there's not much we can do about that. We can save our units though by playing Cast Salesman. Double Scourge. Double Scourge. Well, there is literally nothing we can do about Double Scourge, but just block like that. So he is unfortunately going to gain a lot of life from this. And again, to preserve our mana, let's just get him down as much as we can. The decimate there. We could go for Darius, but that's just walking into a ruination, I think. So we'll take a pretty good open attack here. A whale. We'll kill this, but it's not the end of the world. Could have been worse. Now he's down to 6. So we'll decimate him now. He's used a lot of healing tools already. So yeah, now we've got a choice. When do we go for it, right? And I think we go for it as soon as he plays something like Anivia. Right now we're threatening the rookie win anyway. Or if he goes for something like Ledros, which is obviously absolutely fine. He's going to need a lot of healing. We can just get him, right? I don't see any way this isn't a win. So we'll just do this right now. Yeah. That's an important point to make there. Wait until he's going to have to play a threat at some point, right? And he's already low enough. So we're going to wait for him to play the big threat so he doesn't have enough mana to heal back up. And we win the game. So, yeah, that was this burn deck. We saw 2 games there where one, you saw the power of Funsmith and how Funsmith and Static Shock is quite crazy. But you see how Burn has to sort of play a bit slower. We got to, what was that, turn 9 there? He was playing Ledros. So we got up to turn 9, and that's where we're winning the game. He managed to get down to 10, up to 20, and we were still able to burn him down. And that's the thing. I think normal sort of control beats mid-range, mid-range beats aggro, aggro beats control doesn't really work for this game as well, because you would say that burn is aggro, but you can rush someone down very quickly in this game, as you saw there. And yeah, that's the deck. I think it's a lot of fun if you like burn. We did make some slight changes. I was less happy with the Apprentice than I was at the start of this video. I added in a Saboteur and another Blade's Edge, just as like some more early game against aggro and stuff. But that's been the video. I hope you have enjoyed. My name is Chris. I sound like someone with dementia. My name's Chris. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a nice day.